Good morning. Welcome to the forecast discussion for October 19th, 2012. It is a Friday, and just so you know, the winter forecast at NYNJPA Weather has been issued and can be found on the front page. Be sure to spend plenty of time reading that discussion. It's rather long, but it is chock full of information describing exactly what to expect for the winter throughout the entire United States. Okay, so let's take a look at the forecast here. Here we have temperatures this morning already pretty much where we should be for highs in the afternoon, ranging from the upper 50s over the northern interior to the lower to mid 60s along the coast. And you can see we have a pretty stiff wind from the southeast, anywhere from 10 to 20 miles per hour, gusting at times to 30 miles per hour, and heavy downpours and a few isolated elevated thunderstorms. For the most part, we can expect a rather wet day today, with rain heavy at times, leading to rainfall amounts anywhere from 1 to 3 inches and locally heavy amounts, with localized flash flooding. Temperatures today are going to rebound nicely into the upper 60s over the northern interior and lower to mid 70s over the rest of the northern mid-Atlantic. A very mild day is going to be in place indeed. Of course, it's also going to be rather wet and tropical. So what's driving all this rainfall? Well, let's take a look at the radar first. So you can see plenty of moderate to heavy rain has developed over the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area. It's still broken up a bit, but you can see the back edge of the heavier rain is going to solidify here. It's already starting to expand in coverage, and that's going to slowly lift to the east and northeast today, producing moderate to heavy rainfall through the afternoon hours and ending in the early evening hours from southwest to northeast. So your morning rush hour is definitely going to be impacted by this rainfall, obviously. And also the start of the evening rush hour. I think as you move further into the evening rush hour towards 7 o'clock and 8 o'clock in the evening, I think we'll see clearing skies from southwest to northeast, although a bit windy. When we take a look at the latest moisture transport analysis, this is at 850 millibars, the mid-level winds. You can see we have a very strong upper level low around the central Great Lakes, and see this dark green and red. This means very strong mid-level winds at 850 millibars are transporting a great deal of moisture from the Atlantic right into the New Jersey coast and of course into the New York City and Philadelphia metropolitan areas. But notice the focus is more towards the New York City metropolitan area and coastal New Jersey, and not so much towards central and eastern Pennsylvania. I think that's going to change just a bit. I think this is going to pivot a little bit more to the west as this upper level low dives towards the Ohio River Valley, towards portions of Indiana and Ohio. And as a result of that pivot, we should see rainfall expanding coverage over eastern Pennsylvania as we move into the late morning and afternoon hours. But eventually this whole moisture transport is going to lift into New England as we head into the evening hours, so we will dry out just in time for the weekend. Taking a look at the water vapor satellite picture, I want to point out a few interesting notes here. First of all, notice how the winds are diverging or spreading over the northern mid-Atlantic. Now, what this is representing are upper level winds, and when you see the winds starting to spread out and strengthen with the dark blue here, it means 50 knots, okay, and above. What that basically means is that there's a lot of lifting going on here along the coast, and that's led to a low pressure system being spawned around Virginia, and that's going to enhance the rainfall over portions of the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area today. The best lifting, though, is clearly over the Atlantic, which is great news because that means we're going to bypass the potential of rainfall amounts over 3 inches as what was expressed in the NAM model guidance last night. I think we're going to miss that threat as the best dynamics and lifting is clearly focused over the Gulf Stream. Meanwhile, here's our upper level low. Now, why am I pointing this out? Notice the winds are converging here. As this upper level low shifts towards the eastern Great Lakes and New England over the next 24 hours, we're going to fall under this convergence. And what that basically means is that high pressure that's over the plains will shift towards the northern mid-Atlantic, build into the region tomorrow, and that's going to lead to clearing skies just in time for the start of our weekend, although look for breezy conditions with winds from the northwest anywhere from 10 to 20 miles per hour. So clearing skies will start to develop, but it will be a bit windy tomorrow. Sunday, not as windy, certainly much better with temperatures in the mid 60s for highs. And then next week it's going to be absolutely beautiful as this high pressure system locks in and we end up with above normal temperatures. Enjoy it while you can, with temperatures ranging from the lower to mid 70s for highs and dry conditions. So nice weather conditions are underway for next week at least. We just have to deal with this rainfall for today. Taking a look at the latest model guidance. Again, I'm using the European model guidance from the Penn State UL website. Pretty much all the models pretty much agree with the overall setup of the pattern moving forward over the next 7 days. So I'm sticking with the European model guidance for today. Here we are last night. Our upper level low is forming and intensifying. A ridge is built over portions of New England back into southeastern Canada, and that means our high pressure system is locked in over the Canadian Maritimes. That leads to a stiff southeasterly wind, and our low pressure system is slow to exit. By this evening, notice the model guidance did not pick up on that secondary low pressure system. It's a very interesting observation to keep an eye on as we move on through the fall months to see whether or not the model guidance picks up on those types of developments. But as you can see, the best moisture lifting and dynamics shifts off into New England this evening. So look for the heaviest rain through this afternoon, and then we start to gradually improve as we head into the evening hours. You'll know that you're on the end of this rain event as winds will shift to the southwest and west. Still gusty, but you could definitely notice the drying conditions starting to set in as the showers become more scattered in nature and finally isolated by this evening. By this weekend, high pressure will be in complete control. Our upper level low shifts towards New England. High pressure takes control, basically building in from the southeastern Tennessee River Valley into the northern Mid-Atlantic. Again, look for breezy conditions for tomorrow, with winds anywhere from 10 to 20 miles per hour from the west and northwest. Temperatures will be rather cool, but pretty much near normal in the lower to mid 60s, rebounding into the mid to upper 60s by Sunday as our high pressure system takes hold over the region. Again, clear skies, comfortable weather conditions for the most part. By Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, high pressure will be in complete control over the northern Mid-Atlantic with dry conditions in place. A southwesterly wind also will be in place at pretty much all levels of the atmosphere, and that means our temperatures are going to warm up very nicely into the upper 60s over the higher interiors, the higher elevations in the northern interior locations, and lower to mid 70s for everyone else. So pretty much a little bit of a little reprieve in our fall weather pattern with warm conditions in place. Our brief Indian summer though will not last long as this trough starts to shift towards the east and a much colder weather pattern takes hold just in time for Halloween. Well, that is your forecast discussion for today. Of course, I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino. You can follow the latest weather information at nynjpaweather.com and nynjpaweather on Twitter and Facebook. And be sure to check out that winter forecast. It's completely free and chock full of details. Have a good day. Have a great weekend.